Welcome to the Wee Talk Show, Season 3, catch-up episode with the staunch superstar Jason Reid. Jason, how you doing?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Good to be back on. Looking forward to a chat, although not a big fan of this Discord channel because I can't see my own face. Can't do it on my laptop, so we're making do, but I'm buzzing to be back on the show to have a good catch-up tonight.
Last time we spoke was just before Fear and Loathing. It's just
It
how
was.
long it's been.
A lot's happened since then, right? Match at Fear and Loathing against Chris Bungard. Then a rematch against Bungard at ICW Hard.
Yeah,
Stuff's been happening, man.
I'm just not talking about that. I got abuse off coach that day.
Why did you get... Well, you must have done something to get abuse from coach, because he would never abuse anyone unless it was provoked.
He tried to hand you a chair and I went, that's cheating, but then again you're a Rangers fan, he thought, right, we'll get it round you. But no,
Actually, it's not cheating, because under the ICW rule set, you can actually use a foreign object legally. Uh-huh. So in the rules, you can actually use that. So it's not actually cheating, Robbo.
Fair enough. Didn't know that, but aye. So first of all, we'll talk. What have you been up to?
Been busy, man. Wrestling, working out, chasing the dream. Obviously, ICW's been busy. A lot of big matches. Just signed a match today, fresh off the news. I debuted in United Arab Emirates in Dubai. I've been there twice. I've been causing havoc over in the Middle East, doing what I do best, and that's causing a storm and making big money, baby. Getting those winners' purses, and overall enjoying life, man. Keeping busy.
Fair enough. So last time, like we said before we came on, last time we spoke was just before Fear and Loathing. So back in October, November time. It's mad how long it's been.
Yeah, man.
And we've actually had a chance to meet each other in person, which is I love doing with guests because we met. It wasn't even at ICW we met. It was Community Pro Wrestling. Out all the shows we could have met, it was the Govan show.
Yeah, and man, I love those shows as well. You know, like that was a fun show to be on that night. They're always like sold out. Very, very loud.
The Waynes love you.
Yeah, like kids running about, going wild, smashing people with inflatable hammers. It's a lot of fun, man. A lot of drunk adults as well. It's in Govan. You're
like Govan.
It's a good concoction for a wrestling show on a Friday night.
I've been to two and I've enjoyed both of them. They were good laughs.
Yeah, really, really good. I think there's another one coming up soon. I feel like there's one in the
22nd of July.
And is that this? So there's one. I think there's one in Drum Chapel. I don't know if it's that one.
August, I'm sure.
Well, you know your dates better than me. But yeah, there's another one coming up soon. There's another one coming up soon, but it's it's going to be good.
So obviously you've had your matches with Bungard. We'll get this out of the way. Technically, it's 2-1 to you. It finished 2-1 because including the square goal, which as much as it kills me, it's finished. That's it, done and dusted. How was it?
Yeah,
although you have a lot of differences and you don't get on, we all know that. How was it fighting an MMA fighter?
I mean, it was exactly as it sounds. It was tough. It was a hard couple of fights. I mean, a lot of people say 2-1. I say 1-1. I don't count the square goal as a victory. I use the square goal to get that rematch. Just touching on that for a minute, I knew that I had to kind of do something to get back in his head because he'd have absolutely no reason to give me a rematch. I needed to use that square goal to get the rematch inside the cage, and then made it 1-1. So as things stand, it's 1-1 at the minute. Make of that as you will. But it was good. You know, it was a good test of my skills as well. Going up against an MMA fighter, I needed to get in the cage. I needed to spar with mixed martial artists. I needed to get on the mats. I needed to do boxing, the whole shebang. Jiu-jitsu. So it's good, man. It's really leveled me up a lot. I learned a lot from Bungard that I'll certainly take moving forward into these other sort of big matches. As we get into like Fear and Loathing season, Shug's house parties next month, Then we've got Fear and Loathing a few months later towards the end of the year. So listen, man, I'll take all the experience I can get from these fights, and I'll make sure that I use them to my advantage. But to answer your question, it was a hell of a lot of fun. It was tough, but man, I would do it all over again.
It's good to hear. So we can expect at least one more match just in the future.
Well, it's 1-1 at the minute, brother. I think both of us are very competitive. We both like to be the best at what we're doing. But unfortunately for Chris, only one of us can be the alpha male in ICW. And, unfortunately that's me. So whenever he's ready, I'll be ready too.
And as you touched on, literally announced just when we were starting this up before it went live, you versus Andy Wilde. Now, like I said to you, I've missed a couple of weeks, so obviously I'm intrigued to see what I've missed, but last I seen you'd walked out of the asylum with Andy Wilde at side, like, where's this match came from?
Listen, you got to catch up first of all. Your homework is to go and watch. Imagine bringing on an ICW superstar and not having watched the last few episodes of ICW.
Last episode that aired was you versus the KOE. That is the last episode that aired.
Journalists these days.
That was the last episode that aired.
No, but anyway, there's not really been anything that you've missed, so to speak. Andy and I kind of went for a shot at the tag team division. The first match didn't really work out, and yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. We're both looking. We both needed a match for Shugs. We weren't able to get a tag match signed off. We couldn't get two opponents to be cleared to fight us at Shugs. So Coach Tripp went and organised the match, and he organised the match with me and Andy. So listen, it is what it is. I'll prepare for the match like I prepared for the match against Bungard. Yeah, Andy's my best mate, but at the end of the day, there's a winner's purse on the table which has got a decent amount of coin in it. So, I'll go for the win. And I'll do it as I always do. I'll create a stir. I'll get people talking. I'll get in Andy's head. You think I can get in Chris Bungard's head? Man, how do you think I'm going to... what do you think I'm going to do to my best mate? I know all the ins and outs. I know all the tricks. I know everything there is to know about Andy. So it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
You're making me want to buy tickets for the 10th of July now.
Buy tickets. It's not the 10th of July, by the way. It's further on.
Oh no, the ICW show before it.
Yeah. Buy tickets for that too, man.
Oh,
buy tickets for that.
We've already agreed we're going to Shugs. It's just the 10th of
Good.
July. I'm like, do I go? Do I go? But now you're making me like he's going to see this type of stuff you get. Why I like your character so much is you know how to get into people's minds.
Right.
And it
exactly.
reminds me. I know you're going to roll your eyes, but Rudo back in the day. I know you're not his biggest fan, but you do. You remind me of young Rudo. Just how you get in people's minds and you just play them at their own game.
Yeah, man. I mean, like Rudo for me, like when I was watching ICW before I was, part of the roster, Rudo for me was one of these characters and guys that was just like, unbelievable to watch. He was so good on the microphone. He was so good at getting into people's heads. And I used that against him as well. I mean, I certainly tried to get in his head when we had the press conference and we had all the back and forth. I certainly tried to play him his own game. But that's what I'm all about, man. Like, I use things like that and I take it like... I was able to hang with Chris Bungard, who's arguably probably one of the best talkers in MMA, right? In the country, and Rudo, who's probably the best talker in ICW history, and like you put me in with my best mate Andy Wilde, like it's going to be a car accident. Like I feel sorry for Andy, like I love him to bits, man, but I'm not sure he realises what he's getting himself in for. So,
and speaking of Mr. Wilde, you have your upcoming first show at FPWA.
We do, we do, man. Really looking forward to that.
On last week. With Daisy on for a chat.
Oh, you did you?
Yes.
What was she saying to it?
She's actually really looking forward to it.
I know she is. So, anyway, you would be looking forward to it if you were wrestling Jason Reed.
Listen, see if I can get the wrestling ring, I'll laugh. So if I'm in the ring with you, I think it'd be a good laugh, because I can't run ropes for more than 2 minutes.
But, of course she's looking forward to it. Of course she's looking forward to it. It's the biggest... She could go and sign for WWE in 5 years' time or whatever, right? She could sign for AEW and see the match against Jason Reed. It would still be the biggest match of her career. The fact that she's getting to wrestle someone of my caliber, in her third or fourth match is unheard of. It's remarkable. So the fact that she's getting to do that is just, unbelievable. She should thank me every time she goes to bed at night. And she needs to thank FPWA for putting this match on. Every time she wakes up in the morning, she needs to thank Andy Wilde for making this match, because this is going to make her absolute career. Make no doubt about that.
What made you sign to fight a female? I'm intrigued.
I'll fight anyone. I'll fight absolutely anyone on this planet. Male, female, animal, whatever. If there's a bear, I'll fight a bear. I don't care, man. If you put a contract on the table for X amount of pounds, and there's a winner's purse, mate, I'm not going to sign that. I've seen Daisy do her stuff, right? I train with Daisy every week. I know what she's capable of. She's a very, very hard-hitting wrestler. She's very quick. She's very strong. She's very powerful. So, just because she is female, that doesn't make it any less of a match for me or for FPWA or for the fans to buy and sell tickets, So it's what I'm looking forward to. But again, as I said to you before, man, I'll approach this like I do every other match. I'll get inside her head and I'll go for the win.
Fair enough. Somebody just said, can we get a Jason v Lewis Young match at FPWA?
Can we get a Jason versus who?
Lewis Young.
Maybe one day, man. Maybe one day. Yeah, for sure, man.
As long as the winner's purse is right.
Hey, you're learning, man. You're learning.
Listen, when you start getting in this business, you learn a lot. Trust me.
Good man.
So I also found out you were in Seville. Now, when we last spoke, Gio had just been signed to managers. That's how long ago this was.
That's right, man. Yeah, that's right.
I watched back earlier on when I was in work because we had a wee hour just to kill. And I was like, do you know what, I'm going to watch back, see what we spoke about. And it was you were telling me that you're going to miss the first part of Fear and Loathing Night 2 because you're going to the match. That shows that you were at the semi-final. So you were semi-final against Hibs.
Oh, yeah.
So back then, did you ever have a thing, when Gio first came and you had just lost to Hibs, you'd be going to Seville watching Rangers in the Europa League final?
Not a chance, mate. Not even close. And to be fair to him, Gio obviously hadn't taken charge properly. I mean, he was signed as a manager, right? But he obviously wasn't in the dugout.
Yeah.
Man, but when we got beat by Hibs in that semi-final at Hampden, I thought, oh dear. This could be an issue here. Fast forward to May to be in Seville watching the team in the European Cup final. It's just mind blowing. It's unbelievable. If I could go back and live that week all over again, even with the same result, I would do it 100 times over because it was one of the best weeks that I've experienced. Unreal.
Did you, apart from obviously the odd things that happened that you read about online, did you enjoy Seville? Was that a good experience?
Seville, honestly, as I said, it was amazing. If I could go back and do it again, I absolutely would. We went over Monday to Friday. So we were there for the week, and it was just amazing. The atmosphere was brilliant. There was thousands and thousands of Rangers supporters on the streets.
One of our locals were there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised, man. I think if you're a Rangers fan, you were pretty much in Seville or not. I think, but it was amazing. In the moment we scored the goal, because I was lucky enough to have a ticket for the final, so I was inside the stadium. And the moment we scored that goal, honestly, when I'm dying on my deathbed, mate, and I'm on my way out, I can tell you right now that moment that Joe Rebo scored will be with me forever. I will remember that moment.
That's nice to hear. It's lovely. I love hearing memories like that because as a lot of people know that watch us, I'm one of these guys who live in the moment, get it done. When we first spoke, I just became sober. I'm now 8 months down the line. And like I said, literally 2.5 weeks I get married and I've lost these pictures. Stephen, if you're watching, can you send me the picture of you and Grado? He actually ran into Grado in the middle of Seville. And while I was at work, sent me a picture of Grado and future guest for you.
Yeah, you got to get him on, man.
Mate, listen, see if I could get the big man on, because I know he's coming back, obviously, for Fear and Loathing and Cardiff. Now you're looking forward to going to Cardiff if you get the opportunity.
Cardiff will be very fun, man. A midnight show, right after Clash at the Castle. It's going to be special. I don't think... Is there ever a company that, in history that's ran a show at midnight? I don't know. Maybe there is. Apologies if you have. But man, that's going to be special. The crowd coming out from the WWE pay-per-view. First pay-per-view in the UK in God knows how long. Straight to ICW at midnight. Boom! Get those tickets bought because that's going to be absolutely unbelievable. And not only that, speaking of Grado, the very day of Shug's house party, there is the Wrestling Experience Scotland mega show in the exact same venue. Grado, one-on-one with Jason Reed.
Ooh.
Buy your tickets for it as well. Just buy the tickets for everything. You won't regret it.
And listen, I'm tempted to say to Becca, like, can we go to Cardiff? I don't care if I don't go to Clash of Castle. I might go to ICW. midnight wrestling. That's me. That's me all over the boat.
Wait, so when are you getting married?
July. 2
July.
weeks. The 15th.
The 15th of July, right? So you might have a wedding present, perhaps. Maybe someone listening is going to gift you a wedding present to, you know, some Shugs tickets or Cardiff tickets.
Listen, since you want to gift us the Shug tickets, happily take them off your hands. Because I've already booked.
There you go.
I've already booked to going to Newcastle. Don't
There you
even
go,
need to
man.
pay for my hotel down there because my father stays there and he's been told that we're already crashing at his. When it
There
got
you go,
announced at
brother.
Square Go, I text my
You're
dad
sorted.
straight away. I was like, I'm down this weekend, by the way. He's like, it's like October con. I'm like, yeah, and
You're sorted, man. I'm telling you, you just got to get some tickets and you'll be good to go.
Fiona. So Fiona goes to ICW. Wrote Jason v Grado. I think I'll be cheering Jason for a change.
Who's that?
Fiona. She's about that height.
She's watching right now. Yep. Fiona, go and take your support and stick it where the sun don't shine. You know, if you can't put up with me or support me when you can't be bothered, you know, don't do it when you can, okay? I don't need support from people like you, okay? I'm going to make it in this business with or without you. But if you want to boo me every other weekend and then, you know, Grado comes back after being away for 3 years and you want to cheer against the guy who he's in with, go and ram it. Don't ever support from me. You know, I don't need it. Thanks, but no thanks. There you go, Robbo.
Fair enough. So obviously you've done Dubai, or was it Dubai you were in, or was it
Twice.
Dubai twice? How was that experience? Because you're not the first Scottish.
First Scottish wrestler in history to compete in the Emirate of Dubai, which is special. So this is the start of something huge over there for sure, man. You know, it's homegrown talent over there who are looking to create something special, make a name for themselves. I was introduced to them last year when I was out there on holiday. I love visiting Dubai, my favourite place to go on holiday. I bumped into them last year. I knew they were trying to build something special, and yeah, they brought me in May and June for back-to-back shows, and it was just unbelievable. Sold out shows in the middle of the desert, just unbelievable, man. Unbelievable main event matches, just superb. Really, really cool bunch, a cool project they have going on, and in 5 years' time or whatever, they're going to be selling out the biggest arena in Dubai, the Coca-Cola Arena. The whole world's going to be talking about them in a few years' time. So jump on them now before it's the cool thing to do. Dubai WrestleFest DXB on Instagram. The only pro wrestling show in Dubai. So check them out. They are the next big thing in the Middle East.
We've got somebody saying Jason is the future of ICW. End of.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Tell me something I don't know, perhaps. That'd be interesting.
So obviously you've also done, again, we'll go back to Davy's show, you've recently tag teamed with your missus against Leighton and Anastasia. Now I thought that was a really fun match, but I've got one question. If you can do that again, but take Leighton and Anastasia out, who would you want to go against?
Oh man, anyone in the world?
Yeah, anyone. So you and your missus against a couple.
The Miz and Maurice.
Nice.
1,000,000%. Not only because I'm the biggest Miz and Mrs. fan ever,
My guy knows.
right? But man, that would just be an amazing match to be involved with. You know, the Miz is just so good at every aspect of the business, and man, Maurice is Maurice. She's amazing. Such a talented professional. So yeah, I mean, I'd love to get in the ring with them two for sure. I'm sure we'd give them a good match, and that'd be one to buy a ticket for sure.
And what about in Scotland?
In
You've
Scotland,
got a lot of couples in the wrestling scene.
oh man, that is a lot of couples. I don't know, man. It's a good question. Maybe we need to put it out to the viewers and see what they think. Maybe we need to get Chris Bungard, a tag team partner.
BT and Casey.
BT and Casey would be good, yeah, for sure.
I was thinking Wolfie and Molly.
Oh man, that'd be a tough match. That'd be a tough match for sure.
Nearly debuting Nicole and Thatch.
That's right. Pretty staunch couple right there. Yeah, I'm sure we could probably hold that match at Ibrox or something.
Would not be attending. What else you got? Stevie Boy and Kayla Ray.
Oh, another tough fight.
Demo and Nikki.
Yeah. Another one. Jeez, man. There's some hardcore powerhouse couples in pro wrestling in this country, man.
And then you've got some young couples as well who are together. Logan and Angel. I think that big hit match.
Right. Another one. Yeah, another one.
So there's plenty to choose from there, Jason.
I don't think we'll be struggling for options anyway. That's for sure.
Listen, we could do our own mixed. What is it? The mixed tag competition that WWE do.
Mixed match challenge, right?
We could do our own one.
There you go, man.
We'll hire out a hall. We'll get a ring. We'll do our own competition. I'll phone Thomas Kerr and see if he's free.
Hey, you could do that, man. You could do that. Remember, make the wages good. The winner's purse has got to be even better.
Oh, mate. See if I could run my own wrestling event, I would. But right now, I'm focusing on college. I start college in August. I'm buzzing for it. Things happening behind the scenes as well for me to go and I'm getting a chance to go to Super Scoreboard and watch him produce a show.
Lovely. Love that.
I wasn't for that. Summer, I was speaking to Gordon Duncan on Twitter and he was like, listen, when the season starts back, hit me up and we'll get you in.
Just don't call Hugh Keevins a specky tube.
I would, because I won't be on the mics. I'll be too afraid. Like, as much as I can do this, see having like a proper thousands of people knowing that I'm knitting up. I'll be behind the wall.
I am a big fan of Super Scoreboard, I must say. Really, really enjoy listening to Super Scoreboard.
It was enjoyable during lockdown. I listened to it more during lockdown.
It was good. I only listened to it when Celtic dropped points, which obviously was very few and far between last season. But I definitely jumped on the day after the semi-final, Scottish Cup semi-final, and a couple of times throughout the season. I must say it was much better the season before. But yeah, still big fan of Super Scoreboard. Big up Clyde One.
I'm going to ask Clyde One or Go Radio.
Clyde One.
Going to have to go Clyde One because Grado worked for Go Radio, aren't you?
Exactly, man. And we were going to have a tussle 30th of July. So
I'm tempted to get tickets, like just done all day shout. In fact, I'm not saying that you are away. I'm thinking you just play that day, but you are away.
This is what you want to do, right? If you're listening to this now, you're thinking 2 shows in one day. This is what you do. You book a hotel in the Glasgow city centre. You go to Shug's house party night 1 on Friday. You get absolutely mad with it. You go home, your hotel, you sleep it off. You wake up, you have some good breakfast, you go to Spoons, you grab some lunch, you go to the family show in the afternoon. You head out, you refreshen up a little bit, have a shower, get some new clothes on, couple of pre-drinks, you head back to Shug's night 2, you get absolutely mad with it, and then you go out on the lash after it on the Saturday night in the town, and you wake up and you have another McDonald's and you start all over again on the Sunday for a session. If that's not a plan, there never will be one.
I can't do a McDonald's when I'm hungover. It has to be either a Greg's or a Tesco meal deal.
Tesco meal deal's good, man. You got to have a little meal deal.
What is your meal deal go to?
My go-to?
Your go-to meal deal.
Right, okay. So it's probably quite boring, right? Because I have to obviously track these calories. So I usually go with a little sandwich. It's usually, my chicken meal, something like that. Maybe a cheese and ham. I usually have then the proper corn. It's like 138 calories. Very nice alternative to popcorn. And then for the drink, I'll usually have like a Coke Zero or if I'm feeling a little tired, I will have a Monster 0 calorie as well. So that's my go-to.
See, mine's is normally cheese and ham baguette, packet of salt and vinegar crisps, and either a Lucozade Orange or a Pepsi Max.
I'm into that, mate. I like it.
Mate,
I like it.
I'm a big crisp. I'm not that big on sweets anymore. Since I've started like working with Darrow and stuff, I've kind of went away from sweets. But I'm still this big. If I have crisp, it's like they get demolished within minutes, and that's my downfall.
Man, you gotta have sweets in your life, man. Like
I've never been a big sweets fan, but it's always been crisp for me. It's always been my salt and vinegar, my skips, see stuff like that. That's what I grew up with. Like I spent a lot of time with my grandparents, and it was always crisp they would have.
Man, I can relate to that, right? So I had this discussion the other morning. So, yesterday morning.
You're covering your mic, by the way.
This is this Discord. Can you hear me now?
I thought you had your AirPods in this again.
No, they're charging up over there. So I was making some toast yesterday, right? And when I have toast, I absolutely burn the tits off it, right? I burn it because when I was wee and I went to my grandparents' house, they always used to have toast that was burnt, and the smell of it, I remember it when I was wee. So when I smell it now, it takes me back to that time, like when I used to stay at my grandparents' house. That burnt toast. So yeah, same idea.
It's just one of the things like when you grow up that you have these wee things that stick in your head.
Nostalgia, right? Yeah, exactly.
It's like, God bless her soul, mother gran. She used to anytime I'd go up for my lunch. I used to dog fourth period. That was my thing. On a Thursday, I'd dog fourth period, go down to her bit and have my lunch, just spend some time with them. And she'd always make me a piece with cold meat and cheese, and then give me ice cream with hundreds and thousands in it, and whipped cream. Wow. And serve it. It's just anytime I have it, I'm like, it just takes me back to being 14 years of age, skipping fourth period on a Thursday. Because fourth period was always PE, so I just skip PE. If I had to show you me back in the day, like you would howl. I'm going to need to hide all this, but that is 15-year-old Robble.
I like the hair, man.
It was a lot longer. And then you've got this lovely picture behind me.
Yeah, what is that we've got going on here?
That was from my missus' hen party, so I've got one that's not drawn on.
Damn, bro.
I know. And one of our pals thought it'd be funny to make me a drag artist.
Yeah.
So you can see
nice.
Like the wing eyeliner. The lips.
I like that. Hey, that's cool, man. So, RuPaul's Drag Race.
I think I'd suit it. And then I've got everything behind me is all like memorable stuff. So like the photos behind me is when I played at Man City Stadium. So I represented Virgin Media when I was 18 years of age at Man City
nice.
Etihad. So it's like once in a lifetime things that are behind me. But going back, it was like school was never my biggest thing. So if I could have a chance to go and see my grandparents, I was like, I'm skipping class.
Quite right, man.
Probably I regret that now because I left school at the age of 16 and I've done a lot, but I could have done a lot better with life, as in like getting more qualifications.
Could you really though, or are you just saying that?
No, I could. Listen, see if I had to tell you some of the routes I went down and stuff when I was younger, it was just I hung around with the wrong people at the wrong time.
Yeah, but man, like you're on the right track now.
Exactly.
And whenever you get to where you need to go, you'll be thankful that you had those tough times. Trust me.
No, listen, you learn from your mistakes. That's what I always say. You always learn from your mistakes, and I'm fortunate that I have learned from my mistakes. And I see a lovely can of Pepsi Max. Good man. I'm starting to like you, Mr. Reed. Pepsi Max. Good wee meal deal selection.
I'll listen, man. I'll start being really, really mean if you say things like you're starting to like me. Like, you know.
I'm going to ask, do you play any games, so FIFA, COD or that?
I do a little bit, man. I don't. It's weird.
PlayStation or Xbox?
I've got an Xbox.
No.
People always say that. Like, I mean, come on, man. It's a 50-50, right? I used to play a lot of Warzone. Again, I don't really have that much time to play it. But started playing this new game it's not new. It's been out for a little while. It's called Fall Guys.
Yes.
It's like the most addictive, hardest kids game ever. So that's up there. Yeah, I like a little bit of FIFA, although it becomes quite frustrating. Fortnite as well. I like to kick back and play some Fortnite, and any Call of Duty really. To be honest, big fan of like the older ones and stuff. I go through phases. Like sometimes I'll buy like loads of older games, like called the Grand Theft Autos, like Grand Theft Auto 3 and Vice City and
Yes,
stuff,
San Andreas.
and play it. It just really depends. Like sometimes if I don't have a show on a Saturday night, like I'll maybe go to that is that CEX or whatever the shop is, and like pick up some older games or like buy them from the store on the Xbox, and just buy like some snacks and just play all night. Like it's pretty cool. So yeah,
Side of
that's
Jason
me.
Reed you never knew about.
Huh?
I said the side of Jason Reed nobody knew about. He's a gamer at heart.
I used to play a lot back in my younger days, but yeah, I became an absolutely supreme athlete and left all the games behind. So I only play it now when I have chance.
Fair enough. So I've got another question. This is kind of an on the spot one more. You can have a dinner party with anyone, dead or alive, and it's 3 people. Who is it and why?
Whoa, jeez, man. Okay. Right. Okay. So, man, that's a good question.
We always put it different parts of the episode.
Elon Musk,
Okay.
because man, his brain is just like unbelievable. Like, I'm not convinced the guy's human sometimes.
It reminds me of Sheldon Cooper for fucking Big Bang. It just does.
So yeah, he's number one. Number two, I'm going to say Walter Smith. Because man, like what a legend of football, right?
No matter what
Obviously,
support he was a legend of Scottish football.
yeah, like obviously, sadly taken from us recently, and yeah, I mean, I'd love to sit down and have dinner with him, and then probably one of my great grandparents, my great gran or my great granddad. I would love to just sit down. I mean, they both passed when I was maybe 3 years old. So they've obviously not. I've not been able to speak to them as such. They're probably seeing what I'm doing now. But man, I'd just love to speak to them. Just sit down for an hour and have dinner and just talk to them. I think that'd be so cool, man. So yeah, either one of my great grandparents would be.
I love that answer out of 3. That was more because you get people that say, "Oh, I'd like The Rock, John Cena, and The Undertaker," and you've completely steered away from wrestling and you've brought it more personal. I like that, mate. I really do.
I think it's cool, man. Like, I just feel like, and again, people believe in different things, right? But I'm a firm believer that my great grandparents are looking down on everything that I'm doing, right? Again, you might not be into that, you might be into that, whatever. Not here to argue. But that's cool for me. For me to know that they're seeing everything that I'm doing in life, just to speak to them for half an hour would be amazing. Again, I've not had 2 years of them in my life. You don't really know what you're doing for 2 years. Ages 0 upwards to 2. So it'd be cool to do that, man. So yeah, big believer in all that stuff, and yeah, really passionate about that as well.
No, I love to hear that, mate. Like seeing people bring more personal things and you learn a bit more about them. It's nice. So we'll go back onto wrestling just now. So you've just signed the deal with Andy Wilde. But what else have you got coming up? Any matches like down in England or anything like that we can look forward to?
Man, I've got a full calendar. I've got dates all the way up until the end of the year. It's looking really good. We're in a good position at the minute. A lot of exciting things coming up. We're heading back to Dubai soon as well. The dates to be confirmed. Obviously, we've got this signed in July. We're heading down to England for a couple of shows in July and August. And then we have some good shows up here as well, all the way through to the end of November. So, yeah, some really exciting dates and shows to be announced that are coming up soon. Man, just loving what we're doing at the minute. Working hard, reaping the rewards, putting on shows for everyone that buys tickets. And just having fun at the same time,
Fair enough. I love to hear that, mate. I love to hear when people are saying, "Oh, Robbo, I've got like this book." It's nice to hear because, again, I started this back when lockdown was a thing, and nobody had anything, And like even we had like Lou King Sharp on, he was like, I'm just waiting. I'm waiting to get the call to go back. I'm like, fuck. And now it's like he's away to Denmark, you're away to England, Dubai. It's just nice to see, man. Like everyone's just back, everything's go back to normal. And one thing I can't wait, and I know it's like nearly a year away, but it's a Square Go next year, because you can look at bringing people from everywhere else back in.
Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, we've got obviously Shugs first, and then Fear and Loathing, which is the big one at the Barras. So yeah, so much excitement is in the air coming up for wrestling, and I think after that period we had in lockdown, it's good to just see the business thriving again. And we can see all these wrestlers, aka Jason Reed, that started podcasts during lockdown. They're now no longer to be seen, which is good news. So the wrestlers are wrestling, the podcasters are podcasting. It's the way it should be. So yeah, everything is good with the world.
Everything's going great in the world. So how was it debut? Well, not debuting, but kind of at the garage. You've never wrestled in the garage, have you?
No, I had done. Yeah, no, I wrestled. I wrestled. Oh, I tell you what, man. These guys, the staff these days, they're not up to date with ICW Fight Club.
I have a team that does the research. Have not told me these things.
Well, you got to get a new team, man, because this is terrible. Cagematch.com, fellas. I've wrestled at the garage a few times pre-COVID.
Who was your first match in the garage in?
Liam Thompson.
Ooh.
So it was a good one. I think I maybe only wrestled there 2 or 3 times, and then obviously we went back after sort of post-COVID, which was the cage match with Bungard, and oh my god, was it good to be back, man. It was absolutely electric. The place was jam-packed. The cage in there just made it seem, like the fans were on top of the ring. It was bloody brilliant, man.
See, I'd quality seats. I'd really good seats at Bird.
Yeah. And it's good. And I've never competed at Shug's house party before either. So I'm very much looking forward to that in July as well.
Connor, you can ask me, lol. I'm at every show, lol, or you can have my ICW on-demand login.
Who's this?
Fiona's saying that to me. If I ever need to know about something on a show, she'll tell me.
There you go, Fiona. See, you can have yourself a job.
I will bring you on. You can tell me when people are in. So, obviously, we've got some great matches coming up for you. But within the year, who would you like to wrestle that you haven't wrestled yet?
Ooh, man, that's a bloody good question. That I haven't wrestled yet this year. That's a tough question.
I thought that one would get you.
It has got me, man. It has got me. It has got me indeed. Man, I really don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of who I've not wrestled so far. Like, I've been really lucky that I've been able to wrestle who I've wanted.
Your first opponent was Davey Blaze.
An ICW?
Yep, in the garage.
Very possible.
And then somebody has said that they'd like to see Wolfie versus Jason.
Wow, that would be a good one. Wolfgang. Yeah, man, absolutely. I agree.
And there's my view when I was at Bird. I was in charge.
Any closer and you'd be inside that cage, mate.
Well, pretty much, there you go. I was right. The tag team belt for right below me.
Nice.
I sent that picture to Jack Morris. I was like, do you want me to grab them for you?
I like that.
But so David Blaze, so Wolfie v Jason, I think that'd be a good match. I'd like to see that.
I would take that, man. I would absolutely take that. That would be a tough match, but man, I'd love it.
That'd be a different style of match. What about Kez for his title?
Yeah.
I think you'd do that. Your title shot.
I would, man. I would really enjoy that fight. It would be a fight. I would enjoy it very much. I've had my hands busy for the last year or so to worry about or to focus on titles, but once I get a bit of a free run, you can best believe that we're going for gold.
I was there the night of, and I'm going to clear the air because somebody's actually texted me, how come you're on? Because obviously, as I've seen on Instagram when the boys would say to you about the night you had the Fatal 4-Way. And
Mm.
you were in character, it is what it is, like, my missus said something to coach and you'd replied, and it's the way the world works. And people got angry and I'm like, but at the end of the day, he's in character, it is what it is. Like, we've spoke about it on Instagram.
Bro,
That's
that
just
ain't
you.
a character, bro. That is me, man.
That's
I don't
you.
like people. I do not like the fact that I'm doing this now, man, says a lot. I don't like people, bro. Like, I've never understood this, man. Like, these wrestlers that come and want to be friends with all the fans and give them all high fives. Man, what's that about? I'm here to win. I'm here to fight someone, you know? If you all want to be friends with the fans, then whatever. I don't care. I'm not in it for the fans. I'm in it for Jason Reed and the money.
I was going to say the money.
Simple.
But aye, so just getting out there, we have sorted it, guys. We've dealt with it outside of all this. That's me and Jason moved on. So the person who texted me, we're doing this out of, we respect each other and it's the workplace, and he's given up time to speak to me, so I appreciate that. So we move on. I just wanted to clear the air with that just because I was getting text.
Whoever texts them is a bitch.
So another match, I think, would you go up against any of the Manifesto?
Man, those guys are nuts. Those guys are absolutely nuts. Oh man, if I could avoid it, I would.
It always comes
if I had a choice, I would probably avoid them because again, the nuts. Mad Grant McIver cutting about with his white face paint on and his weird eyes and his chain. Nah, man, I'd rather avoid that. Those guys are, yeah. I think they do anything to win. I don't even think they care about winning. They just, yeah. I'd rather avoid them, to be honest, man.
Fair enough. What about Daz Black?
Daz Black, yeah. Daz and I had a fight at Wrestling Experience Scotland, which was really, really good. Good test of the skills. So that was a lot of fun. So yeah, man, if he wants to do it again on ICW, anytime, any place.
I mind seeing pictures of that. Jason v Dylan for the 0G belt would be good. You and Dylan Thorne, 1-on-1, no Manifesto.
Now that would be interesting. There's going to become a time where the ICW fans need to realise that Jason Reed will win championship gold, and I will take the championship title onto the turf at Ibrox. And so all these people that think that football shouldn't exist in wrestling, and they hate it, this is only beginning. Strap yourselves in, because that title will be on the field at Ibrox. I'm going to take it out when Rangers are playing. I'm going to go out at half time with the championship title on the middle of the park. So that's all I've got to say about that.
See, I'm all for, like, again, the most bitter night I've seen, and obviously there's things that get shouted at ICW when it comes to yourself and Celtic fans, and I don't hide that I'm a Celtic fan, but the night of the Old Firm, you were pretty pissed.
Listen, man.
You took out 3 young boys.
At the end of the day, these guys have paid 30 quid to come and watch me. Like, I've not paid money to watch them.
Yeah.
They've paid money to watch me in the ring. Like, you've paid for a seat. You are watching me perform. Sit down and shut up, mate. Otherwise you're going to make yourself look like a fool in front of your missus. Like I don't have the energy to come out and rip these people, but if I've got to do it, I'll do it. That's it, man.
Don't know if you remember the first encounter we had. Your contract signing. I turned around. So my first, I'll say this again, my first night ever going was your contract signing with Chris. Again, I've known Bungie since I was 18, 17 years of age. Through...
Oh, you bitch.
Anyway, I'm not biting. And you walked by me and I went, Bungie's going to kill you, and you just turned around and went, shut the fuck up.
So again, man, all these fans thinking that it was going to be an absolute pasting. I got beat the first match, but I controlled it for a good 20 minutes.
Oh, listen, it's one of the best matches I've seen that year. I said to my missus, as much as the King and Sanity stole the show that week, yours was second place.
I'll take that, man. I'll take that.
I've said that, like, with some great matches, like, you'd obviously what happened to Dickie Divers and stuff, but yous put on the second best match that whole weekend.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Just
Nice words.
not even
And
because
the bitch says thank you as well. I'll say thanks on behalf of the bitch. Bitch Bungard says thanks too.
There you go. People even agreeing that Bungard and Jace's match was brilliant. I'd like to see he's going like, I don't know, because you've obviously done a cage match, you've done ICW, like the normal style match. So what is there still to do? No disqualification?
I mean, you know, these new rules that Theodoros has introduced, again, as we spoke about at the start of the match, insane rules is always a thing, you know. We'll see, man. We'll see. He's got business to take care of.
He's got big cash to deal with.
So, you know, if our paths cross, they'll cross.
We teaser. By sounds of things. Jason potentially attacking, helping Thatch out.
No. You think? Come on. I've got bigger fish to fry. Alright? Than a guy that holds a fucking book. Sorry for the bad language. Hopefully there's no
mate,
kids.
It's alright.
But, come on. I've got bigger fish to fry than worry about a guy that cuts about with a book that's 30-year-old. Okay?
Wait, how old is he?
The book, not him.
Alright, I thought you meant him. I was
like, he's not going to be a kick in the arse off at me, okay? You know?
Fair enough. Listen, you can see there's cracks starting to show in the cabinet as well. I heard the last ICW tapings, there was a wee bit of crack starting to show between Charles and Skinner. I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, you never know, man. You never know. Wrestling's a funny business.
Oh, it's... At one point I thought you were going to turn face.
Turn what?
Like you were going to go face instead of heel.
Don't know what face and heel is, mate.
No, you're just you. you're the Gerald, the ICW version of the Miz. I'm sorry. You're not.
I don't know.
A bad guy. You're not a good guy. You're just this person that nobody likes.
I'm just an athlete, bro. I'm a fighter. That's it.
There you go. Somebody wrote, I think Skinner's going to break away and do his own thing.
There you go, man. Right, listen. If he wants to do that, fair play to him.
Now, is there any promotions you want to work for in the next year that you haven't worked for before?
World Wrestling Entertainment.
Okay, apart from WWE. British companies. British okay, NXT UK.
NXT UK, okay. Man, I'm open to work anywhere, you know. Obviously, Progress, I'd love to get some business in with Progress, but NXT UK is the number one aim.
I think I'd like to see you. But I think UV Joe Coffee. Oh.
What?
Think about that
one.
Mama!
Blue versus green, right?
There we go, you got it straight away. I've actually said this chat with someone else.
We all know how that ends, folks.
Who lifted the title this year? With a manager nobody knew.
Listen, I said at the very, very start
you'd say that it was going to be a close year. I watched back, you said it was going to be a close one.
I said that to my brother. My brother was laughing about it. And I said, listen, this guy is a good coach. I don't claim to be a football expert, but you only had to look at him and see that he's won he's won something in every country he's been in, essentially. You don't win everything that you've been involved in by being, mediocre. So, yeah. It is what it is. We'll regroup and move on. I think we had a wonderful season anyway.
Oh, listen, I've said this to Stephen, who, again, one of the admins behind the scene. I'm looking forward more to this season because it feels like seasons have passed before Rangers went down and all this. It feels like when we grew up, it's like that again. There's this big rivalry. It's not just Celtic winning year after year, winning trebles. There's a fight there now from Rangers. And Celtic, it took Celtic during COVID to realise, shit, like, Rangers are back, and much as I'm a Celtic fan, it's true, Rangers are back now. Look what he's done last season, he's went all the way to the final.
Preach.
Now, I'm going to ask, because obviously I'm a Celtic fan, my opinions are different. Would you have brought Ramsey on in the last minute to take a penalty? Not knowing what was happening, would you have done it? In the last minute?
Well, okay, in hindsight, obviously not, right? But, at the start of the match, right, if you say, right, this is going to penalties, give us 5 players who you want to take a penalty kick. Aaron Ramsey's name is on there. I don't think you can argue otherwise. In hindsight, no. I wouldn't have brought him on. I probably wouldn't have brought Sakala on. I probably would have brought Roof on a lot quicker as well, because I think he had a big impact when he came on. But it's ifs and buts. If the Frankfurt defender doesn't slip, Joe Aribo maybe doesn't score. If Connor Goldson sticks his foot out, they maybe don't equalise. So it's little ifs and buts, man. Fine lines in football, unfortunately.
Fair enough. Again, that is one thing I'd love to go to. I done Seville back in 2003, but obviously I was so young then, and I went to the last time Celtic got by a group stage. I was at Inter Milan.
When was that? Like 2000?
God, I was 17 at the time. So that'd have been what? I'm 24, coming up 25, 5, 6, 7 years ago. Against Inter Milan, 3-each at home. Went to Milan. Van Dijk gets sent off in the 23rd minute, and then it was just downhill.
Hard lines, man. European football's not for everyone.
Oh, aye. Listen, I'll be the first one to say Celtic in Europe just doesn't go. It doesn't, I'll admit that.
Oh, man. Funny.
I've more chance of seeing Albion Rovers do well in the Scottish Cup than Celtic do well in Europe. As we spoke about last time. Last time Albion Rovers got far in the Scottish Cup was taking Rangers, Tybrox and then Hamilton. Oh, it's not happening now, mate. Trust me. After the season we've just had, not a chance.
You never know, mate. You never know.
So, somebody just said they'd like to see an AEW.
Yeah, cool, man.
The Staunch Superstar versus Darby Allin.
Oh, that'd be a good matchup, right? That'd be a good fight. Listen, man, I just want to wrestle everywhere. I absolutely love this business. I'm determined to work harder than ever to reach the dreams, and if that's there, so be it. But I'm determined to make this a success.
Fair enough. So obviously, one last question: what is your plan for this weekend? What are you doing this weekend? Any shows planned, or are you just going to be training?
So you've asked me this on a
Monday.
Now I've got to get the diary out because my memory is absolutely terrible. So this is a shoot now, folks. Bear with me. Let's get my
look at
fabulous, colourful diary out here. What date we on? We're on June
27th.
I do believe this is a free weekend.
Ooh.
Yeah, I do have something on Saturday, but apart from that, no wrestling this weekend. It's going to be quiet. Going to work on some goals, some side hustles, and prep for the following week. So yeah.
As much as I boo him, he's a really good wrestler. I've said this countless times.
Who's this?
Fiona.
Oh, Fiona, are you still here? Honestly, man, have you not got anything better to do? I know I'm a good wrestler. I don't need you to tell me that. Like, I know that. You don't need to tell me. Jeez, that's what my mum's for. Unbelievable.
So, I've got one question for. How do you think this season's going to go? So, we've got Scottish League Cup, Premiership, Scottish Cup. Realistically.
Right. I think, okay, so here we go. I think Rangers are going to win the league.
Okay.
I think Rangers are going to win the League Cup, and I think an outsider's going to win the Scottish Cup.
Okay, so no silverware for Celtic this year?
No, but I do think Celtic will do well in the group stage. I think they will drop down into Europa League, and I think they'll win a knockout tie.
And then they'll go to Conference League, and then go to the Eurovision.
Maybe. Well, they got knocked out of all 3 competitions last season, didn't they? So
yeah, we'll just discuss that one. But yeah, Jason, thank you very much. Oh, she's watching with her Wayne, and he likes you. That's why she's watching. It's just. Bye, Jason. Thank you very much for coming on. It's been a pleasure having you back on for a chat. No doubt we'll get you on next year to find out how your life's been. I'll probably see you about.
Pleasure. Thank you very much for having me on. I appreciate the time. Thank you.
Not a problem, guys. If you've not checked Jason out, check all the shows he's got coming up. But especially check out FPWA's first show. Tickets are going fast. Some great matches have been announced. Jason v Daisy Jenkins. You've got a battle royal to fight BT Gunn. You've got a tag team match that's been announced. A lot of big things happening, guys. A lot of the future stars. Get along, check it out. I've been your boy Robbo, and we'll see you next week. Peace.